The development of innovation and technology has made the citizen very attentive to the actions and inactions of their elected representatives. And it behoves on us as parliamentarians to ensure that the interests and well-being are sought at all times. This training program would offer us the opportunity to learn about how we can bring to the attention of the House the grievances, concerns, and complaints of our constituents so that the remedial measures can be put in place. And colleagues, it's very important that the emergence of social media, we have to check ourselves in the chamber. Else, that becomes the news. You may recall that the Jimmy Carter funeral some few days ago, or a day or two ago, President Obama and President Trump were having a good chat. In fact, soon thereafter, that became the news of the day. All the international news channels were focusing on that chit-chat and not the funeral itself and what Carter had contributed to democracy in America. So, with the social media all over, if you are not careful, people will now pin into non-issues and make them issues. So please be careful. Your success, or otherwise, is usually dependent on how well versed you are with the standing orders of the House. I need not emphasize the value of the standing orders to your parliamentary career. As you may be all aware, it is to guide the proceedings both at plenary and committee. One must therefore attach all the necessary attention in studying the standing orders. Colleagues, as I implore you to deepen your interactions, engagement, and respect for each other, I would also emphasize that you need to bond and build friendship. The politics we see out there is for the optics. We have ideological differences, and that is what it is. I recall in our first orientation, Right Honorable Speaker Doa Ajahu, in his remarks, shared some few experience on his relationship with the Venerable J.H. Mensah of blessed memory. He said to us that around 1997, 1998, whereas the firebrand in the chamber felt that J.H. Mensah was a thorn in their flesh, there came a day that J.H. Mensah, he bumped into J.H. Mensah and DFN. They were having a good time on their whiskey. I said, what's going on here? These old men say, hey, young man, come and join us. That is politics. I've known DF Annan all these years, and we are good friends. So he urged upon us to bond. Keep friendship, but let the principle of your political ideologies remain. Don't compromise it. Don't betray your party. Compliment your colleague and learn from a colleague. I therefore take this opportunity one more time to welcome you to this all-important chamber. This is the least you can do for your country. Serve your motherland. Be happy as a parliamentarian. No regret at all. I know we would all be there as leaders to assist you. Thank you very much, and God bless us.
Two things to keep on your thumb. Keep the speaker close to you. The speaker, you are my father. It's better if it's your father. So it's now the turn of the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader, the Honorable Amakofi Boa, to also give us his remarks.
Thank you. The Right Honourable Speaker, Abambabin, the First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honourable Bernard Ahiafo, the Minority Leader, Honourable Afeyomakin, colleagues in leadership, I see my colleague, the Chief Whip of the Majority, Honourable Members of Parliament, the Acting Clerk, Mr. Jetro, members of the Parliamentary Press Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to give a brief remark on behalf of the Majority Leader, Honorable Dr. Kesla Tuforsen. He was very much waited to have been here this morning, but for a very important national assignment. Honourable Speaker, it is with great pride and deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you today as we embark on this significant journey. Today we gather as newly elected members of Parliament entrusted with the sacred duty to represent the people of Ghana and to contribute to the shaping of our nation's future. Let me begin by extending my warmest congratulations to each of you on your victory in the just ended elections. Your hard work, dedication, and the trust placed in you by your constituents have brought you to this very important institution. This is not just a personal achievement, but a collective honor as we all stand united in the service of the people of Ghana. Now let me say that, and this is very, very important, if you will succeed as a member of Parliament, the foundation you lay in your first term is what will take you there. And you want to note that as a member of Parliament, the first 4 years, which is your first term, you may have to work extra harder. You may have to reach out more. You may have to engage more. You may have to spend a little more time in your constituencies than the other members of Parliament. This is, to me, very important. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter, and this orientation workshop is designed to provide you with the essential tools, knowledge, and insights to navigate as lawmakers. Over the period of this orientation workshop, you engage in discussions that will focus on several key aspects of parliamentary work. And I think it has already been mentioned, but it's worth emphasizing them: the composition, functions, and internal organization and structure of Parliament, which is very key to understanding how you as a member of Parliament will fit in. Privileges, immunities, of members of Parliament. 3, parliamentary procedure and relevant rules. As members of Parliament, you have to master those. I think it was important if you realize the first thing you were given were the standing orders and the Constitution. I will entreat you to make them your friends because they are very critical in the work you will be doing. 4 is the lawmaking processes. And as legislators, one of our primary roles is to enact laws that will shape the future of Ghana. You will learn about the steps involved in the lawmaking process, from the introduction of bills to their passage, and the crucial role Parliament plays in shaping policy and national development. 5 is the parliamentary services serve as an institution in context with the institutions of state. As you embark on this new journey, I urge you to take the business of Parliament seriously. The work ahead will not be easy, but it will be rewarding. Our democracy depends on your commitment to the principles of justice, equity, and accountability. You must all rise above partisan interest and focus on the greater good of the Ghanaian people. As you engage in these topics over the coming days, I encourage you to be open, ask questions. And I think it's important that I add, make new friends, engage more, ask questions. No question in Parliament is a stupid question. In fact, the more you ask questions, the more you become more smarter. And trust me, everybody who has been in Parliament has asked all the questions that come to your mind, and you think, oh, I can't ask that because this might be so dumb. No, it's not. Anything that crosses your mind, ask. Because it might be the best thing you ever even brought to the table. And I've seen new members of Parliament that have come to Parliament and added so much. There are so many things that we learn in Parliament on a daily basis. I'll tell you, don't, for example, I've learned a lot. Don't allow, for example, the daily irritations of Honorable Afenyo Markins to get to your skin. It's very important I said that because, beyond all of that, maybe get closer a little bit. You will see that maybe he's a better human being. He is. But, so that's your policy. And then decide on how your politics will be very early on. Do you want your politics to be a gentler or right in your face? Each path you take will define you. And you have to make that choice. The bottom line is that you have begun a journey, and that journey can bring you to a fifth term, as I have been. It's not an easy journey, but it requires you to decide very early on some of the choices, and I think some of them are what I've told you. I'm sure that you have the opportunity to engage some very experienced parliamentarians that will tell you a lot about your role as a member of Parliament vis-a-vis the people who brought you here. They don't care whether you go up to be a fifth time. They always believe that they sent you. And the daily phone calls and how you manage them, and the stories. I remember I got a phone call at 3 a.m. one day. I was so annoyed. I picked the phone. I said, yes. I said, do you know what time it is? Yes, Honorable, I know what time it is. Do you know where I'm standing? I told you the network here is no good. 3 a.m., if I don't climb up there, I can't reach you. And basically disarmed me. I said, yeah, I understand. The constituents that have elected you have expectations. And each phone call that comes to you is important to them, else they won't call you. And so you want to make sure that they are overwhelming, but you have to manage them. There's a lot you're going to learn today based on a lot of experiences. And in closing, let me emphasize how proud I am of each of you for the trust that has been placed in you, and how confident I am that together we'll work to create a parliament that serves the best interest of the people of Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader. Please be reminded that these brochures are for the next 4 days. So for the next 4 days, you need to keep these brochures. Please don't leave them here. Make sure you have them every time you are attending your workshop. We will now invite the Ghana Dance Ensemble to give us an interlude before Mr. Speaker comes. Ghana Dance Ensemble. Ghana Dance Ensemble. Come. Where are you going? We are enjoying your music. You know, we have been with the Ghana Dance Ensemble for a long time. And every year, they give us, please, go on. Give me two more. Okay. Thank you. I have been watching videos of the venerable minority leader doing his traditional dances. And I must say that he blends very well when he gets into his Efutu mood. And I was expecting that people from the region that the music was coming from were also going to do the same. But you see, we have had various conversations about Parliament and how it evolves and how people have, done well. There is one man who came in very unassuming, very respectful. I call him my son because we have a relationship that is very, I don't know what to say, personal. But yeah, he came in when Speaker Jahu was made Speaker. And one of the rules is that you cannot be a member of Parliament and be a Speaker. So this guy is able to come in, and he has learned the rules, and within a short time, he's rubbing shoulders with people like Benadala, who at the time was one of the best in my eyes, Afinyo Marking, and everybody that knew, their onions. He's grown very, very fast. And I wasn't surprised that he was made the first deputy speaker. I want him to just say, 2 or 3 things about his experience and how he was able to, learn very quickly and so above his senior. So please, let's welcome the first deputy speaker, Benada Hereford.
Thank you very much for the opportunity given me. Let me stand on the existing protocol. To speak to you briefly about myself and my experience when I entered Parliament. It is true I came to Parliament through by-election when the elected MP, Right Honorable Doa Jaho, became a Speaker of Parliament, and 30 days was declared to fill the vacancy. By the time I entered Parliament, the orientation that we are going through was carried out. So I never had the benefit of the orientation that you are going to benefit from. I took it upon myself to go through what my colleagues have gone through during the orientation program. And I realized that there are certain key things you need to know as a member of Parliament. The first one is the rules that governs the House. So I will urge you that from now onwards, your second Bible should be the standing orders of the House. Whatever you do is governed by the standing orders. So when you master the standing orders, you can be on your feet in Parliament and be on your feet very, very well. Next to the standing order is the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. The standing order itself was premised on the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, particularly the one relating to the legislature. If you know those provisions and you master your standing orders, when you get on your feet, before even getting on your feet, you are telling the speaker that I am standing on order so and so. Mr. Speaker, I'm relying on the constitutional provision in article so and so. And when you begin to talk, it's even difficult for other members of Parliament to heckle you You know heckling is allowed in Parliament. You know that you are up to your work as a member of Parliament. Now, in spite of all those things, practically, you must stay in the house to be able to learn. It's just like a lawyer called to the bar who is not staying in a courtroom. It's difficult for you to have the practical experience. But when you stay in the courtroom, the judge's pronouncement, the way the seniors are doing their submissions, you pick it up from there, because you may be in Parliament today, there will be a deliberation. You've never contributed to it, but next time, you've been in Parliament, you saw the way they've argued, you saw the way the motion was debated, you saw the way the consideration of the bill was carried out. The next time they are doing another bill, you'll be on your feet also contributing similarly. I'll be making presentation to you tomorrow. So on this note, I want to pause and welcome all of you to Parliament of the Republic of Ghana.
Thank you very much, our first Deputy Speaker. Please, there are QR codes posted at the various points outside of the auditorium. You can use your phones to scan them so that you don't have to be bothered with the hard copy versions of the program. So the QR codes are posted in the various parts. We can also probably forward them to you if you are so minded, so that you can scan them and then use. As you have been told, and as you will get to know, one of the most affable persons that we have in Parliament is our Speaker. He's been here from 1992. He knows everything. He understands. He interviewed me for my job. He's interviewed almost all of us for the various jobs that we have. He knows all the MPs. He can tell you where you come from and explain to you. He was even telling me where I come from and what my hometown name means. That's the kind of man we are working with. If he starts talking history, we'll stay here till tomorrow. Nowadays, he has also taken up singing. So you hear him singing. I think he likes reggae. So you will hear him doing a reggae number or two once in a while. And the other day, he was singing Peace, When Peace Like a River, It Is Well. So he's a man of many parts. But most importantly, he is a legislator's legislator. And as we have been told, if you want to go far, you need to listen to him. I personally do know that he's a very kind man. Sometimes it's like a coconut, hard on the outside, but really soft on the inside, if you're able to get there. So try that too. He's a family man. He has 2 beautiful children, but he has many other children and nieces and nephews. He's from Sombor, and as you know, he was a member of Parliament for Nadoli, and then Nadoli Kalio, and then Deputy Speaker, and then Speaker, having gone through everything, including being one of the 3 wise men. Please, honorable members, let's rise for our Speaker, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin.
Please kindly be seated. Good morning to you all. I must say I'm so impressed with the turnout. I think almost everybody is here. But let me do some roll call. We have 4 independent members. Are they here? 1, 2, 3. Where's the 4th person? 1, 2, 3. Oh, missing in action. My friend, A+, former musician, now honorable member of Parliament. You are all welcome. My brothers and sisters from the New Patriotic Party, let me see you. Let me see. Well, the minority. Not micro minority, the minority. Yeah, we have some of you not available. Yeah, because your number is 88. Oh, yes, some of you are continuing. Just a few. 42. Okay, so, well, but that's quite good. That's good too. Some of you are, so they are not, the returning ones are not here. Oh, you see, they assume that they know. Please, kindly be seated. 36. Return. No, 36. Yes, the number. That's good. Yes, the National Democratic Congress. Let me see. You are 183. 183. Yeah. Yes. They love that one, populous majority. Yes, please be seated. Be seated. I will want to stand on the existing protocol well established by my earlier colleagues, and also to gladly endorse all what they have shared with you. The minority leader seems to talk like somebody who belongs to a group called Illuminati. Illuminati is a very good term. You can look for it in there. Oh, you are not part of Illuminati? Illuminati is part of the New World Order. And it's a very solid group, a global group, very solid group. So you go and do some research on it. You see that I'm edifying you. Yes. It's a pleasure to have all of you with us today. As I listened to them, I kept on editing my speech. And many people know that I have so much in me, which is not yet captured in literature. And sometimes I have the difficulty of deciding where to stop. And so they keep on pinching me. And I listen to them anyway. But what I see before me here are fresh, anxious, vibrant, and expectant faces. That is what I see before me. I see hope, and I see the future of Ghana. And this is good news for Ghana and Africa. I happily welcome you to the Parliament of Ghana once more, and to the first induction and orientation seminar designed for first-term members of the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana. This is the first part of the 2 phases of a program of orientation put in place by the Parliamentary Service, specifically dedicated to first-time members of Parliament. I would like to take advantage of this opportunity to once again congratulate you on your hard-won victory in the 2024 General Parliamentary Elections. My best wishes to you all as you begin your journey as representatives and political leaders of your respective constituencies and our dear country, Ghana. Underline the words, political leaders. Your election as members of Parliament presents you with the opportunity to contribute meaningfully to the quality of lives of Ghanaians and the development of Ghana as a country. This is an onerous responsibility, difficult to fulfill. It demands a lot of attention and sacrifice. Sacrifice of oneself and family, but it's always also rewarding, not materially, but in reputation and dignity. This orientation is to also give you a good beginning, a solid foundation, and a dependable ladder to climb. So I urge you, as others have done, to pay attention and take advantage of it. This is the first opportunity to also let you break the ice. You've already been told you have to make new friends and build a parliamentary family. Surprising, some of you might have heard, and you may think that it's rumor. It's not rumor. There are some parliaments where we have real lovers from different sides of the house moving together. It's true. I led them here. I know them. I spoke to them. You know? Yeah, whatever you do here, you can't escape my vigilant eyes. And any of you who wants to test me one day, and I'll tell you where you went last night. Don't be surprised, because I've been around for a long time. And I've moved around. And so many people know me. And you don't move alone. You live in a society. And those you interact with, they interact with me. So wherever you go, you do something, they'll call me and say, oh, your MP was here. And that's, what is that happened? Which MP? Then they mention the name. So I get to know. And my staff will tell you sometimes how I surprise them with some revelations. So please, I'm very, very vigilant person, very watchful. I may not be looking at you, but I'll be seeing you. So please try and make new friends and build a parliamentary family. You will depend on each other even after here. So it's very, very important to do so. Your political differences notwithstanding, your future depends on how you build new bridges here and how you conduct your life as a leader of your people. I was with John Kerry when he was contesting to be the President of the United States, because we were together as members of the Parliamentarians for Global Action. His wife was in the Republican Party. But when she got married to John Kerry, she has to cross to become what? A Democrat. Ghana, I know people who belong to different sides, and yet they are married. And that presents a challenge to their children. And so the children, some too are MPP, and some are NDC. And that's one of the challenges we have for the independent members of Parliament. Because we say we are practicing a concept of multi-party democracy. So the language is always talking about party, but they are independent, which is also allowed in democracies. You see, and there are different types of democracies, but we opted for multi-party constitutional democracy, unlike the UK one, which is not constitutional. So it's essential to appreciate that the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, 1992, various acts of Parliament, and the standing orders of Parliament impose a huge responsibility on the Member of Parliament. You must listen attentively to the resource personnel to know and prioritize the tools of your work in order to plan your career or change direction in your life to be able to cope with these huge responsibilities. You have to start to cultivate the culture of listening to colleagues and non-colleagues, particularly those with diverse and different shades of opinions. You have to do so with patience and keen interest to be able to respond, not react, with better skills and reason. Most of what you see on the floor is reactions, not responding. You know, you allow your instincts and emotions to propel you to want to speak immediately without thinking deeply into what you have heard. And because of sometimes the noise, you might not have heard exactly what the person said. And then you start from a different premises. So it's very important to be very, very attentive when your colleagues are speaking. And when you come out with a response is a reasoned reply. You know, you are better prepared to be catching the eye of the speaker. Because as we sit there, I'm not compelled to call you to speak. No. It's how you reach out and you'll be given some of the hints as to how to catch the eye of the speaker. Whether you are behind a pillar or not, you can still catch the eye of the speaker. Don't go and be using those reasons that you are seated behind the pillar, so you cannot. I was lucky, really. I didn't start from the back bench because I was a very active legal practitioner in Accra here, and also a very active member of the revolution. So I was well known before I came to Parliament, well resourced by then. And so I started from the mid, and then immediately became a chair in 1994 of a committee. So I moved towards the front a bit because they needed some legal advice. And that's where I started from. And within a short time, I started chairing the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee, where the outgoing president was the ranking member. So from 1997 to 2000, we worked closely together. That's why I can checkmate him. He can't. Yeah, we have that familiarity. In spite of our differences, we gel, and people don't usually understand. You meet those same challenges. So you have to start here and now on how to apply your knowledge and competences to quickly understand, accumulate, and accommodate the rules of the house. You've been told the rules of the house, the ethics and etiquette of parliamentary law, practice, and procedures, and the intricacies of governance and public policy. You have to start it from here. It is again this background that Parliament conducts induction and orientation programs for members of Parliament, particularly first-term MPs, to expose them to the environment and culture of Parliament, the rudiments of the functions of a member of Parliament, how Parliament works, and why parliamentarians do what they do. You will also be given a bit of what support services the parliamentary service can give to an MP. You have to listen and know it yourself. Don't depend on any other person as second-hand information. You'll be told where to find some essential services and who to approach when in need. At this orientation session, a number of experts and personnel with hands-on experience have been invited to engage you on topics relating to various aspects of the parliamentary business. We started not on a very good note because we didn't have the Ghanaian resource persons. And so we depended mostly on the Commonwealth and the international community. Their experiences are very different from ours. What we practice here is very different from what is practiced in UK and the US. And it's very different from what is practiced in the largest democracy in the world, and that is India. And so ours is a unique system, and you have to learn it here. You are lucky that some of us, with my colleagues here, are available to take you through the rudiments of the Ghana's democratic system. You will also have the opportunity to exchange views with our distinguished resource persons on several subjects of interest. Don't limit yourself to only what they will be telling you. If there's anything disturbing any of you, please bring it out. Some are captured, some of those areas are captured in the timetable of this workshop. And I'm confident that the program will come handy, useful, and beneficial to you all. You are therefore entreated to be present at the various presentations. Dedicate these 4 days to the seminar and fully participate till the end. You will not regret doing so, because those of you who will focus on the seminar will be far ahead of the other colleagues in the parliamentary work. As you grapple with the complexities of Parliament, I encourage you to network with your colleagues, share ideas, and solicit guidance from experienced members of this House to enable you gain deeper understanding of the intricacies of parliamentary business. This will help equip and inform you to be able to contribute meaningfully to debates on the floor and at committee meetings of the House. And more importantly, it will draw your attention to opportunities. Opportunities, those of you thinking that you will just come and depend on government to survive, you will be greatly disappointed. You need to go beyond government to network with civil societies, the private sector, the international community. You need to be looking for opportunities that can compel me to approve travels for you. And when you go out, you network with others to be able to mobilize resources to come and develop your constituencies. So it's very important to focus. So as you start your journey, also keep uppermost in mind that because of the tremendous amount of responsibility, you will be expected to uphold the highest standards of honesty, integrity, and moral uprightness to sustain and enhance the image of Parliament, and also the trust and confidence of your constituents and citizens in general. Your title is now honorable. I urge you to honor yourselves. You are a role model. The lives of so many people depend on you. Don't fail them. This is what touches my heart. As you go around and you recollect how people are fighting for you, not just during the elections, even today in the villages, defending you with their lives, then you are here taking it easy and toying with their future. It's not fair at all. The Almighty God himself will not bless you, because you don't need that blessing. And it's true, whatever you sow, you reap it. So don't think that you do good for any other person. You do it for yourself. I want to urge you to stay focused and work assiduously towards addressing the challenges facing our nation. That is the number one. Not the parties, the nation. It's very, very, very critical. And those of you who are not observant, please refocus. Those who really take Ghana first, advance in politics than those who are extremely partisan. When you are extremely partisan, you may ascend in a regime, but in the next one, you collapse. Because you are seen to have identified yourself with one personality who might be the leader. And so after that leader, you are not relevant again. And that's one of the challenges we have to surmount in this country. People come and they cultivate a constituency and fire them up to fight for them. And if you are one of them caught in that constituency or club who become sycophants and hypocrites. Your life depends on the life of that leader. When that leader leaves, that's the end of your political career. You have seen it, not so? Please, so if you want to stay long, stay on the very delicate, not attractive road of being independent or autonomous in your thinking. There's a way of going about it that may be better than what I have done. But I think that is one of the reasons of my success. People all over admire what is good, what is right, what is just. So as you defend the position of your parties, what you must do, because that's where you belong to, that's the diversity of life. It's not your making, but it's that of the creator of the universe. And so as you do that, you do it with reason, not with emotions. Very important. I know it's not going to be easy, and it has never been easy. It is not an easy task, but I have no reason not to have confidence in, because I'm using this in calls are interrupting. It is not an easy task, but I have no reason not to have confidence in each and every one of you to live up to the challenge, having passed through the acid test of the voters. It's not easy. Look at the number in the constituency. Look at the number in your party. Look at the primaries you went through, and look at the contest on the 7th of December, 2024. And the majority say it is you. That is not an easy job. Many people outside don't understand it. If you tell them how much you spent and the efforts you put in, they don't appreciate it. And most of the time, they don't even believe you. It's when they are inside that they get to know that, in fact, the kitchen is not that rosy. It's rather very hot. I'll do all I can to let you succeed. That will be part of my legacy. A strong, effective, and efficient parliament. And within these 4 years, truly, we have transformed the institution of parliament. The service is better equipped, better resourced, better remunerated, and morale is very high. So they are prepared to support you. We started with the members of parliament. We have not gone far yet. And these 4 years, I intend to make us go further to take away some of the arduous tasks and particularly the financial demands of the people from your personal pockets. You are performing public duty. You are serving the people, and the cost involved in the service must be shared, not only heaped on the member of parliament. Unfortunately, many of our party leaders don't appreciate this. And so you see that the success of a party is anchored on you seated here. But when the party is in power, you are usually a second thought. Many things are done outside there without your inputs. And even when you meet them at gatherings, you see where they place you. You don't get a pride of place in the front row. There are other people who are there. Those people might have only contributed some small money. They don't know how much you have invested in the party. So these are things that it's important that we form a political class that can reach out to the generality of our people and let them understand and appreciate the value of what we do. So a few years ago, when His Excellency the former president and His Excellency the current president, having gone through some 3 years or 3 terms of parliamentary practice, were to contest, that was one of the joy of the moment for me, was I knew that with that experience, they could at least have made some differences in the lives of MPs, and particularly in the institution of Parliament. They have done their bit, just like how President Kufuor did. Those who haven't been to Parliament don't know it. And so it's good, and I will continue to preach after I've left here, that to get a speaker, it must be in-house. It should not be from out-house. I'm sure my friends in the prison service will tell you how they used to be angry that all the time it was always a military officer that was asked to be the Director General of Ghana Prison Service. Honorable Dr. Richard Quinre is here, who, no, not prison service. It's rather customs. Prison service for many years now has been always in-house. But before I conclude, let me say this. This orientation session is not an end in itself, as it cannot give you all that you need to undertake your business. You should therefore be guided by the adage that learning is a continuous process and that one should never stop learning. I haven't stopped reading and learning every day. A leader is a reader. What did I say? So you must read on a daily basis. Literature on this occupation, and some people call it career, abounds. You are therefore entreated to keep reading and learning as we embark on this difficult but noble occupation or career of a member of Parliament. I just have the introduction. These are some of the introduction books for you, and we'll try and make, some are not in print again, and even Parliament don't have some of these books. And so I'm going to make them available to the House, particularly our publishing department, so that they can publish them for you. Most of them will give to you for free, but some we may have to sell them because of the cost implications. We have, this is a guide to the Parliament of Ghana. It's produced locally by some of our people. After standing orders you've been given, you've also been given the Constitution. Then also we have the evolution of Parliament in Ghana. Okay, and that one will be boosted by the museum that we just commissioned. Then we have a number of books titled How Parliament Works. One of our men added, in Ghana, which is here. He's a member of staff here, Dr. Darfur. He did his PhD on the Parliament of Ghana, so he's come out with a book. We, your presiding officers, the speakers, we did a research as speakers at the Interparliamentary Union, which is the World Parliament, and we have produced a book, Presiding Officers of National Parliamentary Assemblies. So that's what guides us. And I always give copies to new speakers. I will have to start sharing it with my colleague deputies. So there's a lot, and particularly to be able to build on, you must know much of the history of Ghana, not from the perspectives of the political people. Some of them, the lecturers, are too partisan when you read their publications. Please go beyond the Ghanaians to the outsiders and see how they see what we do. They have also published a number of books, and they are very good for you. Let me just wish you the best in your quest to chart a new life as a parliamentarian or a political office holder. I know some of you are trying to use Parliament as a stepping stone to becoming ministers of state. After that, you run away. You don't come back to Parliament again. May the Lord use you as instruments of development and drivers of change in the lives of your constituents. I thank you all for your attention. May I now, with your kind permission, proceed to declare the induction and orientation seminar for first-term members of Parliament open. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker of the 9th Parliament. May I now ask Honorable Grace Ayensu Dankwa, member for Esikado Kitan, to come and give us a vote of thanks. Grace Ayensu Dankwa, Esikado Kitan, to give us the vote of thanks. After that, Alhaji Mumuni from Salaga North will also come for the closing prayer.
Nervous. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, Leadership of Parliament, Acting Clerk, and Management of Parliamentary Services. Thank you very much for your wonderful and insightful orientation and induction program. My colleagues and I, first-time members of the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana, are aware that Parliament has its own culture, policies and procedures, as well as a house of meticulous record. We hope that by the end of this seminar, this 4-day seminar, we will engrave in our brains what we have learned here, absorb and digest in our guts what we have learned here, and also that what we have learned here would help us in the performance of our duties to make this house and Ghana proud. On behalf of my colleagues, thank you again. We are grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for thanking us. So please come after the closing prayer. We'll go downstairs and take a group photograph with Mr. Speaker. Then we'll proceed to the PTI for our refreshment. And then we'll start the workshop proper. So please come for the closing prayer. One second. Before we know we've prayed, but Mr. Speaker is not going to be with us at the workshop. So he's saying that if anybody has a compelling question that needs his attention, he may take it now. So I don't know whether you'd like to engage him later when you've heard the others speak. You'd like to do that. Then what we can do is that we can ask Mr. Speaker maybe at a later time to come, and then, yeah, Mr. Speaker will come. Time with the speaker. In fact, we'll institute that. My public engagement lady is here. She's very smart. She will do that. Mrs. Tinge, time with the speaker. So if there are no questions, then please.
Why? What's the problem? We're the majority. Hold on, I don't have a problem. Abba, you're giving me this podium, you want me to? Yes. After my prayers, another person can do so. We thank Almighty Allah for bringing us here today to participate in this open ceremony. We ask for Allah's guidance for Mr. Speaker and leadership of Parliament. We thank Almighty Allah for this program, and it is our prayer and hope that members would go through this program, take the program very serious, guide us through, not to experience in our lifetime the tag of I shall return. Let us learn hard, stay here, and when we are out for good. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim, Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim, Ghayril maghdubin alayhim waladdallin.
Thank you very much. This was inadvertent, and we apologize for that. Usually we would ask one person from the one side of the house, another person from the other house. So it's inadvertent, and we recognize it. With that said, please, let's proceed. Mr. Speaker will wait. Let's proceed to the down floor. The photographers will show you where we take the photographs. And then Mr. Speaker will join us. Please, when we get there, quickly put ourselves together, and then Mr. Speaker will join us for the group photograph.
Speaker just spoke against extreme partisanship, and this man is being partisan even about the allocation of prayer.